Hi, I'm Dr. Chitra Pandya and I'm a final year postgraduate student in the Department of Community Medicine at Pramukh Swami Medical College, Gujarat. Being a postgrad student, I've had a lot of undergraduate medical students, especially from 3rd first MBBS, come up to me with doubts in biostatistics and epidemiology. So initially I had thought that I would try to create a proper video tutorial series wherein I'm explaining these aspects in depth along with the accompanying theoretical aspects. However, with their preliminary exams as well as university exams just round the corner, I thought it nearly impossible to create a proper video tutorial series. However, I think that something would be better than nothing, and so here I am creating a very immature video tutorial series which simply kind of focus on certain very common doubts that have been coming up to me in the past couple of weeks. Herein I have oversimplified certain concepts of biostatistics and epidemiology. These are not exhaustive videos, so a note of caution for all the students viewing this video that please do not depend on these videos. Just use these as a support to kind of clarify certain doubts that you have. Please read your textbooks carefully and please go through the material that has been shared by the department, by your faculty with you during your lectures. So thank you very much and all the best for your exams, and I hope these videos do help you a little bit. Thank you. Hi, in this session we shall discuss something about validation of screening tests. And a note of caution again for the students, I am oversimplifying the terms here, so please go through your textbooks after having viewed this video. So coming to the conceptual part, we first need to understand what it means by a screening test and a diagnostic or a gold standard test. Okay, so what does a gold standard test mean? It means that when it shows positive, you say that yes, this person does have the disease. If it shows negative, you can say yes, this person doesn't have the disease. Okay, but in public health point of view or from community medicine point of view, these diagnostic tests or gold standard tests are often more expensive. They require more resources. They might be tests which are available only in healthcare facilities. These are probably not tests that you can take to the community outside of hospital and run them in the whole of population, right? So you need certain simpler tests which you can run in a large number of people to pick out people who are likely to have a disease, right? These are screening tests. So screening test is a test which is done in apparently healthy population. That is those people who don't have any signs, symptoms or complaints, right? So the entire population, you specify a population, for example in diabetes, for example all adults over the age of 30. Now you can't run diagnostic tests in all the people, right? So you have a simpler test, for example say random blood sugar, right, using a glucometer, right? So you take that test, you can run it in all adults in a population. That is what is done in screening for diabetes, right? So a person who has RBS more than a certain determined cutoff, you can't say that yes, that person surely has diabetes, but yes, that person is likely to have diabetes. You need to bring that person to the hospital, make him or her undergo these diagnostic tests to see if the person actually has diabetes or not, right? So a screening test is a simpler test, a more cheaper test which can be done in apparently healthy population to simply pick out people who are likely to have a disease, as against a gold standard test which tells you for sure if a person has a disease or doesn't have a disease. So now logically you would want to compare this screening tool with a diagnostic test. How much can you trust this screening tool? If it shows results which are completely opposite of the gold standard, then you would pick out wrong people, right? When you go to pick out people who are likely to have a disease, you want a test which will pick out people who have more chances of getting that disease, right? So you need to compare the screening test with the gold standard test. Also, instead of a screening test, you could have a new test also. Any new test which comes up, you would want to compare it with the existing gold standard or diagnostic test. right? So whenever we talk about a screening test or a validation of a test, we need to remember that it is always in comparison to a gold standard or a diagnostic test. So now we'll come to pen and paper and we'll figure out certain calculations that we need to do. So what are the four basic things that are covered in in validation of a screening test? They are: one, sensitivity, specificity, positive predictability value, and negative predictability value. So these four areas, these four calculations need to be done. So now we'll look at the pen and paper part of it. What you need to remember whenever you have to do validation of a screening test is that in your question or any given situation, you will always have two types of tests. One will be the gold standard or the diagnostic test, right? And the other will be the screening test or the new test, which you have to compare with the diagnostic test or the gold standard test. In a question, most of the times it will be pretty obvious which is the diagnostic test and the gold standard or the gold standard test, right? And which is the newer test. Like in case of hemoglobin, there is one question that I shall display on your screen. The question states that there are two methods of determining whether a person has anemia or not. One is a digital method and other is a laboratory method. So from the question itself, we can assume that the laboratory method can be considered as a diagnostic test, whereas the digital method can be considered as a screening or the new test, right? So first you determine these two different tests. Now you need to go on to make a 2x2 table. Now it is extremely important to make this table correctly because this is where most of the students get confused, right? So in this table you will have 4 main cells, right? Now read the question properly, and what you need to figure out is that in the gold standard test there is something called positive, that is the disease present, and negative, that is the disease absent, right? So the gold standard test will give you positive, negative result. Obviously there is no other possibility, right? Like for in hemoglobin or anemia question, they have said that any HB less than 7 is considered to be anemia, right? So in laboratory test also, less than 7 will be anemic, more than 7 will be non-anemic. Similarly, in the screening or the digital method also, less than 7 will be disease present, that is anemia present. More than 7 hemoglobin will be anemia absent or disease absent. Okay. So you have disease present and absent in gold standard, disease present and absent according to the new test, right? Now this is very important. You first need to understand what will come in these cells right here outside this 2x2 table that we have made, right? So these all will contain the total numbers. Total of what is now we'll see. So from the question you need to figure out how many people are those who have the disease according to the gold standard, right? So that will be a sum of these two cells. So first we'll just name these cells and always name these cells in this order: A, B, C and D. Okay. So who are all those people who have the disease according to the gold standard? So A plus C. All these people, that is these two cells, right? A plus C. They have the disease as per gold standard. Those who don't have the disease as per gold standard will be B plus D. All those who have the disease as per the screening test, right? So A plus B, this row, this entire row, A plus B. Those who don't have the disease as per the screening test, that will be C plus D, right? So first understand this table very well, because this is where the students make the most mistakes. This is where they get unnecessarily very confused. You simply have to see all those who have anemia. If the question says that according to the laboratory technique, that is the gold standard, 15 have anemia. So you simply write that 15 number over here, because that means that all those who have anemia as per this test, so they are all positives, right? Positives as per diagnostic test, negative as per diagnostic test, positive as per screening test, negative as per screening test, right? So what do you understand from that? That they are positive on screening test and positive for diagnostic. That is, the screening test says they are positive and the gold standard also says they are positive, means they are true positives. They actually have the disease, and the new test also says that they have the disease, right? This cell, the new test says they don't have the disease, and the diagnostic test also says they don't have the disease, right? So they are true negatives. What is true? Truth is what the gold standard says, okay? So true negatives as per the screening test. That is, the screening test said they are negative and they are actually negative. Actually negative means diagnostic test also says that they are negative, right? Now you come here. So the screening test says they are positive, but they are not actually having the disease. That is, the gold standard or the diagnostic test says they don't have the disease. One other way this question can be asked is also, they might say that they have a new test says that 10 have the disease, but out of those 10, 3 don't actually have the disease. So actually having or not having the disease, okay? They might not say that a gold standard or a diagnostic test says this. They might simply directly tell you that the patient has the disease or doesn't have the disease, right? So the question can also be worded this way, that 10 people tested positive on the screening test. So here you will have to write A plus B as 10, out of which 3 didn't actually have the disease. So they'll fall over here. Here you'll have to write those 3 because they have the disease as per screening test, but actually they don't have the disease, right? So here they'll be false positives, okay? False why? Because they don't actually have the disease. Positive because the screening test said yes, they have the disease. So the screening test says positive, but the diagnostic test says they don't actually have the disease. So that is false positive. Coming to this last cell, here the screening test says that they don't have the disease, but they actually have the disease. So that will be false. False what? False negative. Okay. True when these two corroborate. Positive, positive, negative, negatives are true. True what? Positive, true, negative, right? Here we have false because these two don't match. And what are they? They are false. Positive. The screening test says they have the disease when they don't have the disease. Here what? False, negative. Screening test says they don't have the disease, whereas they actually do have the disease. So what does sensitivity mean now? Sensitivity means sensitivity of the new test would mean that the ability to say that yes, the person has the disease when they do actually have the disease. Okay? Ability to detect the disease when it is actually present. So what is the denominator? Actually present. All those who actually have the disease, that is A plus C. Out of those who actually have the disease, how many did this new test detect? A, right? So that into 100 gives you sensitivity, right? What is specificity? Specificity is out of all those who don't have the disease, right? All those who don't have the disease. Who doesn't have the disease? B plus D, right? They don't have the disease. Out of those, how many did the test say that yes, they don't have the disease? Okay, so when was the test correct, right? So the ability of the test to say that yes, this person doesn't have the disease when the person actually doesn't have the disease, right? So the ability to detect true negatives, right? That is, out of all those who don't have the disease, the test says that these many don't have the disease. So D upon B plus D into 100 is the specificity. Now coming to positive predictability value and negative predictability value. What does this say? It says that out of all those that the new test said that they were positive, how many actually had the disease, right? So out of all those that the test said were positive, that is A plus B, the test said that all these are positive. Out of them, how many actually had the disease? So how well does the test predict the presence of the disease? So the test said that all these have the disease, right? Whereas only A actually has the disease, right? So positive predictability value, that when the test predicts that a person has a disease, what are the chances that he actually has the disease, right? So the test is saying that all these people have the disease, A plus B. But how many actually have the disease? Only A. So A upon A plus B into 100. Similarly, negative predictability value is what? Out of all those people whom the tests say that they don't have the disease, how many actually don't have the disease? D. Okay. So the ability of the test to correctly predict the absence of disease, right? So out of all those that the test says don't have the disease, how many actually don't have the disease? D. So D upon C plus D. How to easily remember this? All the trues upon total for each row and each column. Okay. So as you can see, for sensitivity, what do we have? True. True positive, that is A upon total, A plus C. Specificity is what? True, that is true negative, that is D upon total, B plus D. Positive predictability value is what? Trues, that is true positive upon total, A plus B. Similarly, what is negative predictability value? True, that is true negative upon total, C plus D. Here, as I said, the most important part is to fill in these cells properly, because that is where you tend to get confused. A lot of times, I'll just give you some examples. When they say that out of 100 people, so this, I'll just expand this table. As you can see, this should be A plus B plus C plus D. This is the grand total, right? This is A plus B plus C plus D is equal to this A plus B plus C plus D. Okay. So this total and this total should be the same. Okay. So now we'll just take one very simple example. So there are total 100 people in a population, out of which 60 have diabetes. Okay. So what does it mean? 100 in a population, out of which 60 have diabetes. So they actually have diabetes. Okay. Okay. Out of 100 people in a population, 60 have diabetes, and a new test which has been introduced found that 30 did not have the disease. Okay. So a new test found that 30 did not have a disease. So out of 100 people, it said that 30 do not have the disease. So don't put it over here, put it over here. Okay, this is where most mistakes get made. Out of 100 people, 60 had diabetes, and the new test said that 30 do not have the disease. Okay, now we want to figure out the sensitivity and specificity. Let's see if we are able to fill in all the gaps. Okay, so we have 100 over here, 60 over here, so we put 40 over here. Okay, so 60 have diabetes actually, 40 don't have diabetes actually. Out of these, the test says that 30 don't have diabetes according to the new test. So here it says that 70 have diabetes according to the new test, right? Now the question will give you any one more cell, right? So that you can fill in these. It will say that out of the 30 that the test said that did not have disease, 15 or say 20 actually had the disease, right? So out of 100 people, 60 had diabetes. The new test, out of these 60, 20 were shown as not having diabetes by this test. Okay. So that you can write over here, out of these 60 which had diabetes, this test said that 20 didn't have diabetes. So what do you know? That this is 40, right? You also know that the total 30 were said to not have the disease. So I had written 30 over here. So 20 and 10, right? Here you have 40, here you have 70, because You had 30 over here, 100 over here. So you had written 70 over here. So 40 and 30. So now just calculate, okay? 40 and 30, 70. 20 and 10, 30, okay? 40 and 20, 60. 30 and 10, 40. 60 plus 40, 100. 70 plus 30, 100. Now you can simply calculate these four values on your own, okay? So it's very important to fill this table correctly. Read the question properly to understand what they are saying. Are they giving you the total value or they are giving you values in these cells, okay? So read the words properly. Another way to word this would have been that out of that in a given population, suppose in a given population of 100, the new test gave 70 as positive. So you have to understand that don't put that 70 over here, put it as here. 70. So 70 out of 100 have tested positive on this new test. So you have to write 70 over here and not over here. Here you will only write the number which is actually positive, that is 40. Here you will write the number which is actually negative, not having diabetes, but the test has shown them to be positive. Okay, so out of 70 who are shown as positive on the test, 30 actually don't have the disease. Okay, so this is how differently the question might be worded. You need to remember that the table is a 2 by 2 table. That is that it has 2 rows and 2 columns. These are additional cells that we have created which shows you the totals, right? So that you can easily calculate these right here. And this is the grand total A, B, C, D. So this plus this should be this plus this should be this. I hope this helps you. All the very best. Thank you.